will make your opponent lose his mind because he's in an item lock. Be careful.
Okay.
It was the weekend, and we can't stop from going to the local card shop. Instead of buying evolution packs, we got some things with a great EX. We opened the packs, we knew what was in it. Another regular rare that we didn't need. Yeah, booster packs are just so addicting, about a ton. And then my wallet was shrinking. I saw a light bubble appear in my brain. Now I pulled the Vileplume and I went insane. Oh snap, and what made it worse? My opponent flipped the table like the Hulk. It was a curse. I went throughout the whole universe, went through giant plans and then reversed. When you think about it, regular rares are not really that bad. If you care, if you don't believe me, try out this deck and annoy everyone with no items and shit. Now get the motivation and welcome your opponents with frustration together with education. Yeah! Little players near and far don't know where your items are. You wanna put them down so hard, I'll use Vileplume like a star. No items allowed this time. No items allowed this time. No items allowed this time. No items allowed. What's up YouTube, it's TCG here and welcome to another episode 101. 101, wow, we have come a long way. This time around we are going to check out another trainer lock deck and yeah, it's been a while since we checked out a trainer lock deck since Vilepume EX wasn't the standard format, but now that has been rotated out, we are checking out a new one. It's a great way to annoy your opponent with this new deck called Vileplume Toolbox. This deck basically revolves around Vileplume's ability, irritating pollen, and the name says enough. It's irritating, and why you ask? Well, it makes it so each player cannot play items anymore. Strong ability indeed. So how do we make a deck revolving around that? We need to get some speed to get these Pokemon out. It's a stage 2 and yeah, mostly stage 2s are actually quite slow. We could go for rare candy, but there's even a better way to yeah, fill your deck with some items to get that out, or actually stadium cards. Try out 4 copies of the the Forest of Giant Plants, rather. With that card you can evolve all your grass Pokemon in one shot, even on the turn when you bench them. So that way we can get our Vileplume out in no time, so we have that item block in play. There's also Oddish and Gloom, but those Pokemon won't be yeah, around for long, since we do plan on evolving to Vileplume really fast with Forest of Giant Plants, the stadium card. 3-3 line, so 3 Oddish, 3 Gloom, 3 Vileplume is the most consistent way in my opinion, since we do want to go for trainer lock as fast as possible, so the multiple ones are not needed if they manage to knock out a Vileplume. By Lysandering it out, we are going to need another Vileplume to back that up. So a 3-3 line makes it consistent, we can get it out fast enough. Now with that, what makes item lock so strong? Well, firstly, all tool cards cannot be attached anymore, so forget your Spirit Links, forget your yeah, other trainer cards, tool cards, Float Stone, there's also Fighting Fury Belt. Everything goes away with that. If you can get out Vileplume in time, those items cannot be attached. So your opponent cannot attach a tool card to their Garbodor. Also, the Fighting Fury Belt and Spirit Links get blocked as mentioned. Trainer's Mail is an item that gets blocked. Maxi Elixir, Fairy Drop, VS Seeker, Ball Engine cards as well, like Ultra Ball and Dive Ball, all are blocked. So, and there's a lot more items like that. So item lock is really strong to disrupt your opponent from playing anything in their hand. Usually you have a lot of items in your deck and that way they get blocked. So we do want to have damage on the field. So what is our main strategy? Okay, now the main strategy is getting out Vileplume as fast as possible, of course, and then with the attacking power on your side, you can use like yeah, a combination of certain cards I'm gonna mention later. So the item block, we're gonna combine that with powerful attackers that we can use at the right time with great abilities or great attacks. The choice basically is all up to you what you put in this deck, because we're running a bunch of rainbow energies, so there's interesting choices to pick from. With rainbow energy we can basically use any Pokemon in our deck. Also we're running 4 DCEs, and then the basic energies are all up to you, but I do suggest water energies because I'm gonna talk about Manaphy EX in a sec. Okay, Jolteon EX is the first attacker on my list with its second attack, which is really good to prevent damage from basic Pokemon. So once you use that attack, you prevent damage from basic Pokemon with that. So pretty much you are invincible against Yveltal EX and other basic Pokemon like that. So if you use that attack, you're invincible for basic Pokemon. So now on the other side, you can say, oh, I'm facing Mega Evolution Pokemon, so that won't work. So we have another Pokemon for that in our arsenal. We have the Glaceon EX, which does the exact same thing like Jolteon EX, but it prevents the damage from evolution Pokemon. So again, really great against Mega Mewtwo, Mega Gardevoir, or evolution Pokemon in general like Greninja. So to go side by side, you can use an evolution, which is best suited for the matchup. So that's why both Pokemon are in the deck. You can run yeah, maybe one copy of each, or crack it up if you prefer. Yeah, what Pokemon are playing, what people are playing at your tournament. That way you can check out what you want to play most of. Before I list even more great tech Pokemon, I'm firstly gonna say yes. Yeah, as mentioned before, we run 4 Rainbow Energies. That way we can power up everything we want to in combination with 4 DCEs. Why? Well, because Enhanced Hammer is blocked anyway, another item card. We have free game with our special energies, so that way we can run even more regular energies besides that, but we can run special energies. We don't have to be afraid that they get Enhanced Hammered away, so you can run a regular energy depending on the Pokemon on your Pokemon list of your deck. Remember that there are a total of 10 energies, or maybe 11 energies is a perfect number for this deck, so don't go overboard and play like 15 energies. That's not needed at all. Okay, what Pokemon are also powerful to use is Regice, which is not an EX, which is good. It's a really useful Pokemon because it can prevent damage and effects from EX Pokemon with its Resistance Blizzard. Really good since most decks use those pesky EXs, and if we cannot be hit by EXs, we are in a good situation right there. There is, however, Hex Maniac, which blocks all the abilities, but not many players play Hex Maniac, and if they play one, they usually play like one copy in their deck. So, and if Yes Seeker is blocked with item lock, they can usually only use it once. So the abilities are really strong in the perfect situation. Another great card to stall is Jirachi. It's a promo card and it has the Stardust attack. I have mentioned that before in previous episodes. You can discard special energies if you use that attack, which is great for discarding DCEs on the Yveltal decks or Mewtwo decks or other shenanigans like that. Also, the Vespiquen deck uses DCE or Splash energies and the Greninja deck. So really great to discard the special energies and have a wall like that. If you use that attack, you're invincible. Magearna EX is also a nice option for its ability to prevent the effects of attacks for your Pokemon with metal energies attached to them, which is provided of course by the Rainbow Energy. Rainbow Energy provides every type of basic energy, so that is great. We can use abilities that use specific energy, so Magearna EX preventing the effects of attacks, really great if you are not good against decks that use those attacks, maybe like paralysis decks, poison attacks. All the effects of those attacks get neglected like that. Magearna, pretty sweet card. Then if you want even more versatility, there's Mew EX. He can be your guy to use every attack in play. We still, however, need the necessary energies, but with Rainbow Energies there is not a big problem right there. Imagine a random Desperate or a Psychic Infinity or Evil Ball out of nowhere thanks to this Mew EX. The Psychic type is also a neat bonus. The HP, however, is not that much, but still a great looking card that does its thing. And there's also the regular Mew, but this one can only use the attacks of your basic Pokemon in play, so not your opponents. And yeah, if you want even more versatility, there's also Lugia EX, which has the powerful attack for DCE, dealing a ton of damage. Reminds me of X-Ball of Mewtwo back in the day. He did that before him, but Lugia EX, yeah, definitely a good choice in this deck to have some raw power. Now that we got our defenses and our offensive Pokemon, we do need to cover our retreat cost, and that's where Manaphy EX comes into play. Each of our Pokemon with water energies has a free retreat. Again, this counts as well with the Rainbow Energies because those provide water type as well. So definitely run a few water energies besides the Rainbow Energies to have that free retreat, because free retreat is kind of a must in this deck. Otherwise, if they lies under your Vileplume, you're stuck. If they lies under something else, you're stuck. Then there are also other options, because yeah, the choice is up to you, as I mentioned. And I just thought about something, that if they are item locked, switch is also blocked, so they are stuck in the active position. You can actually get someone on the active position like a Hoopa and get them stuck, so that is great. So you know, we don't also have to forget about Shaymin EX, which is something we also run in this deck. Run definitely yeah, like 3 copies of Shaymin EX because this deck needs a lot of consistency. There's not a lot of items you can use, so Shaymin will be your draw support for the deck most of the time. So it provides some speed in the deck, and yeah, just to put this in there to get our powerful EXs or basic Pokemon out. Yeah, another thing you can do is run other Pokemon that you find in your binders or you think is really good, like a regular Hoopa, or maybe Mewtwo with the barrier attack. The choices are up to you, so just aim for the weakness of the most common decks in your area and you'll be just fine. I really enjoy the versatility in this deck because you can just basically put anything of a basic Pokemon into your deck together with the item lock, and then your opponent cannot play any items and you're doing really great. Now for the items and supporters that we are running, we do run a little bit of items, but more supporters in that case. 4 Sycamores definitely is needed for the speed, getting out Vileplume maybe on turn 2. 4 N for the late game, because this deck shines in the late game when you're getting a bit of trouble. You use N, your opponent get a, if he already has taken a lot of prizes, you can definitely make a comeback with this deck, because you have the right cards for the right situation. Lysander is also a must, because we can, as mentioned, stall our opponent because they cannot switch or use Float Stone to get out of the active position, and also to knock out Garbodor, because Garbodor causes a little bit of trouble because we cannot use our abilities anymore. So we Lysander that Garbodor, destroy it, even the Trubbish, whatever. So ability lock is gone. With that, item lock is still back into play, and that can be quite devastating. And yeah, we can win games by destroying the Garbodor at the right time. Also, the last knockout with the Lysander can work for to hit for specific weakness to get yourself the game. So imagine yourself, someone is weak against water, we use Lysander, get out our Glaceon, using super effective damage, and boom, we get ourselves 2 prizes. So things like that can happen. It's just the same with Jolteon, you can just knock out some Evoltals if you want to. But how do we get these Pokemon out at the right situations when we don't have Manaphy as prize or something, and then we just use Ninja Boy, which is an interesting card that is actually quite good, and it's actually the only deck that actually makes use of this card for now. And searches your deck for actually another Pokemon, and you can swap them around. So 2 or 3 copies is definitely a must in this deck. So we swap our Pokemon of our field with another Pokemon from our deck. The energies are still remained on that Pokemon, and the damage counters as well. So this can be handy if you have a Rainbow Energy attached to your Pokemon and a DCE just like Glaceon. You swap around for Jolteon in the right situation. So Ninja Boy, definitely a great thing to test out in this deck. Also, Umbreon EX can actually be quite good if your league is filled with Mega Evolutions or Evolutions in general. Or that's only Mega Evolutions, just be careful for that. If you use the attack end game with the Umbreon EX, you get 2 more prize cards, which means if you knock out a Mega Mewtwo EX or a Mega Gardevoir EX, you get 4 prizes in one blow. So if you're having trouble against Mega Pokemon, then Umbreon EX can actually be splashable in this deck as well. Then our item count is extremely low in this deck, of course, because we are item locked ourselves, so we actually adapt our deck for the right situation. 4 Ultra Ball, definitely to get our Vileplume, Gloom, Oddish into play. You can also run 2 or 3 level balls to crack that even up, to have more search capabilities in the early beginning, or when we can use items in the game. Or even, yeah, Shaman EX, we can still use that in the early game, but yeah, if it's benched, then our bench slot is actually full, and they can Lysander to get some prizes right there. So yeah, 4 Trainer Mail is something to make the deck also fast, and maybe even, as mentioned, the level balls to the search power for those can search out Audishes or Gloom. And that's basically it. It's a unique deck, and definitely test it out at your local tournament to see how it goes for yourself. Item lock is also really powerful in the TCG. Let me know which deck cards you came up for in this deck. There's a lot of choice to pick from. Really great basic Pokemon with good abilities, or yeah, just in general going for weakness. So I'd really like to know. Definitely put it in the comment section below so we can have a little discussion to know how to crack this deck even to the top list. Yeah, alright, with that out of the way, let's check out the next segment of the episode, Poké-News. Alright, we start things up with Roaring Skies getting another print run, which means, yeah, Roaring Skies has always been a great set to get yourself that Shaman EX you definitely need for your deck. And the TCG actually decided to actually print another run, and that comes almost 20 months after its initial release in May 5th, 2015. So this will get another run to get the Shamans out into the wild. So this is actually a great thing. I don't think they had to make like a tin where they get a Shaman EX tin. That way they would drop the prices from Shaman EX immensely, but they will actually make another print run of Roaring Skies. So expect more Roaring Skies coming up in your local store anytime soon. Or maybe in blisters or tins from other stuff like that. Yeah, great news for people that don't have Shaman already. Next up, the Lycanroc GX box. We have a product image right here, which has the Lycanroc GX as the box, which is great. This will come out in America and Europe on the February 24th, so which is great to get yourself some new packs of Sun and Moon. Lycanroc GX has an attack crunch dealing 30 damage, discarding 1 energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. And then there's also second attack dealing 120 damage for 3 energies. And of course, for the same amount of energies, there's a Lycanfang GX, dealing 200 damage. Discard 2 energies attached to this Pokemon. You can only use that attack once in the entire game, so that GX move isn't that good, but yeah, it's a GX card to collect, nevertheless. Next up is another scan, is Orikori from the Sun and Moon set, which will be coming out on the February 3rd. And we see here it has the attack Hot-Blooded Dance. Search your deck for up to 3 basic Pokemon and put them onto your bench. So this is a great Pokemon to put in Stage 2's deck to get yourself all your bench Pokemon you need. So definitely a great basic Pokemon right there to use. Next up, the Pokemon Champion League tournament promos have been announced. We have Togedemaru, which is actually a Pikachu ripoff or a Plusle. Yeah, you know, in every generation we have one of those. It's not a great card all around. It only deals 50 damage with its first attack. You can paralyze a Pokemon. Then Victory Medal. I'm glad that this is back. This actually reminds me back in the days where I won some tournaments and got some of these cards. These are exclusive cards for people that play tournaments. You can search your deck for a basic energy card and put it into your hand. The reason that I think this Victory Medal is quite decent to use, not in a deck but in a collection, because it's a unique card that you cannot get out of the booster packs. Then another card is Choice Band. Choice Band is awesome. Remember Muscle Band, remember Fighting Fury Belt, splash them together, poof, there we go. This, if you attach this Pokemon, or actually tool card, if you manage to even place a tool card, because Vileplume could be around. Yeah, if you attach this tool card, you deal 30 more damage with your EX or active Pokemon GX. So 30 more damage is a lot. Remember, Yveltal already deals a lot of damage. Splash that onto it, it deals even more damage. The same goes for other Pokemon, so Choice Band will be a staple in a few decks, so definitely get your hands on a few of those. So yeah, more TCG news, I love it. The Scizor EX box, or another collection box, will be out in April, which will contain some Sun and Moon era focused stuff, like with the GXs which you can pull from those packs. So Mega, it's not the Mega, it's just the Scizor EX box, not that bad. And the last thing I want to talk about is actually the decks that are doing really great at the moment. We have, of course, Yveltal EX dominating some formats. There's also Mega Mewtwo, Mega Gardevoir, Volcanion. There's also a few rogue decks here and there. Mega Scizor EX with Raticate is also something interesting. Greninja is doing really good. So there's a lot of options, so definitely try out a few of these decks. And also check out this deck where this episode is based off, Vileplume Toolbox. So let me guys know in the comment section how you would run this deck. And this was another episode. If you enjoyed it, definitely smash the hell out of the like button, because you know I always appreciate that. And if you have any thoughts, suggestions, or epic new ideas, the comment section is your place to be. Go wild, but keep it clean. Yeah, that's it for now. Thanks again for watching, and I'll be seeing you guys soon enough. Bye!